Welcome to the Stateless Codecast. This is episode number 56 in our series nerddice.com, where we build a tabletop role-playing management application using Ruby on Rails. And we are kind of continuing down the path of the road to upgrading from Rails 7.0 to 8.0. We are actually on 8.0 now. We did that in the previous video, and I think this is the 6th video of kind of this upgrade series. We're nearing the end, but we're not done yet. So if we go and look at the Rails version here, you can see it's currently at 8.0.2. But we don't have all of the features enabled for it. And in this video, we're going to take a look and try to figure out what happened to our code coverage reporting. So if you recall on the episode where we upgraded from Rails 7.0 to 7.1, one of the features of Rails 7.0 is that Rails test now runs the test prepare task. It turns out, though, that messes up with how we had our code coverage set up through SimpleCov and Coveralls. So if you go and look at the commit history, go to code here, make sure we're on our feature branch, and the commits here, you can see this commit here, the code coverage decreased, it says 41.8% to 58.182%. This didn't actually decrease. We only, I think in this case, changed a few of the config files. So nothing really changed on our end, that our code is actually less covered than it was before. And we will replicate this right now. So we'll run bin rails test all here. And we can see it shows our coverage as 31.15%. So we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to go into our browser here. We'll throw a file in front of it, and then this will give us the coverage that we've got. So it shows the Tailwind helper is only having 80% coverage, and it's not indicating any of the inside of the classes being covered by any of this. The user class is showing as not being covered. And if we go back to our repo here, we can see I linked to it in the issue, this issue from SimpleCov. So other people ran into the same issue and kind of noted that the way that these things interact was messed up by how the Rails test now runs the test prepare command, which doesn't kind of stop and re-require the code, which causes SimpleCov to not be required at the right time, which causes the code reporting to go sideways. So we're going to try to kind of add the require SimpleCov and try to kind of solve this issue. And we'll start with this boot.rb file. So this is what it looks like now. Take a look at the item here. I'll just refer to that and add it to the boot.rb. Now in our test helper, we'll add this if-env coverage item here. And then we will try to run this now. We need to do coverage equals true. It just needs to have something in it, not, I'm just putting true for the sake of putting it here. And then test all, and we'll see if that gives us a better reading on this. So that got us up to 73.08, which still doesn't seem right. We'll take a look at, we'll hit refresh on the coverage index HTML item here, and the items that are showing as not covered actually aren't covered. We don't have anything going on here for any of these. So it might be true and right to note that these are not covered. I'm just going to try, I'm going to do a variant here, test system, and then test, see if that gives us any different report out at all. No, still 73.08. So that, well, that did change. The number of hits per line seemed to have gone up. Try that again. Do test all, 73.08 with 47.42 hits per line. Still the same coverage, but our hits per line have gone much higher here. I'm going to pause and see. There is an item that notes about Rails test system test versus test all. I'll also do bundle exec and see if that changes anything. It does not seem to. All right, so I'm back. I'm going to try one more thing. So in the SimpleCov repo itself, it notes that you have to require SimpleCov before you start your app. So I'm going to see if moving this into boot.rb changes anything. Help if I spell end correctly. And then we'll get this from our test helper. See if that improves anything in terms of our code coverage, or if it gives us a report at all. So 74.07, which is a slight uptick. I can't hit the back button to find out what. I guess the reg file may have been covered. That might be the difference here. So I guess we'll just leave this in boot.rb. Move this comment. Moved here. Get rid of this 2 blank lines. Run it one more time. Same basic result there. I think I can live with that information because application job, none of these are actually being hit. Yeah, I think we'll call that a relative win. We'll just live with the fact that our code coverage isn't 100% because, to be honest, it actually isn't because we're not calling any of those classes yet in our code anywhere. So I could, if I wanted to, throw the no-cov document comment on each of those, but like eventually we will have mailers and jobs and action cable stuff. So we'll just leave those and we'll acknowledge the fact that our code coverage is not 100% here. So take a look at our git status, git diff. I do not like the weird whitespace stuff that's going on here. Run Rubocop. No, those are still there after the, maybe I don't have trim trailing whitespace on. That at least looks reasonable. Rubocop is fine. Git add, git commit, write my message. All right, so I've got my commit message. We will save that and then we'll push and we'll make sure that something registers in the GitHub Action. So I haven't explicitly set the CI environment variable, so we'll see whether we get any coverage at all in our build. We'll go to our actions, let that complete. All right, so the build has passed. Look in, see what Coveralls is saying about this. This is the main branch. Go to our feature upgrade Rails 8. And we can see the coverage is showing as 72%, which is roughly where it was in our local here. And it looks like the major hit was from 7.0 to 7.1, and then it kind of stayed the same and then bounced up some with 7.2 to 8.0, and then went up another couple of percentage points. So maybe we didn't really achieve much from this, or maybe the biggest hit from 7.0 to 7.1 got fixed with 8. It's possible, but either way, we've got, I think, more accurate test coverage reporting. We can mark this subtask complete. So I've got 2 checkboxes left. The next one, we'll take a look at the GitHub action that we currently have, compare that to the one that gets generated when you do a new Rails application, and then we will modify our GitHub action to kind of get the best of both worlds potentially. And then the final checkbox might wind up being more than one video. So we want to enable prop shaft and add the Docker file and Kamal and solid queue, solid cable, solid cache, and make sure that we're running with kind of the Rails 8 defaults. If you want to catch these videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Code along on an end-to-end journey through the creation, design, and development of a Ruby on Rails application for managing tabletop role-playing games. We start from Rails new and will guide you along the journey of the entire lifecycle of the application. You'll get to see real-life, real-world problems and challenges as we try to deliver value for our users. Visit statelesscode.com to level up. Thanks for watching this Stateless Codecast. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and spread the word. You can follow us on social media at statelesscode. Until next time, keep coding and don't aggress against peaceful people or vote for others to do so on your behalf.
Hack the stateless code.
Nerd dice.